Hello, friends. This is Darren Hayes of PigskinDispatch.com. Before we take you to your favorite Sports History Network show, just want to tell you a little bit about some merch that you can pick up that represents your favorite SHN podcast. So far, there's t-shirts, coffee mugs, and even books from some of the authors that do podcasts right here on SHN. Who could buy something better than that, than have the history right from the gentleman that you hear talking about it? But we also are adding things each and every day. And where's that store, may you ask? Well, it's at SportsHistoryNetwork.com. Up at the top, there is the SHN merch button. Click on that. It'll take you right to the store, and you can be representing your favorite podcast and show the world that, hey, on the swag that I'm using, it's the headquarters of sports yesteryear, Sports History Network, and my favorite podcaster, the Sports History Network store. Shop there today. Now it's time to take a sports break, a look at sports history on a daily basis. Hello, my friends of sports history. This is Darren Hayes of the Sports Jersey Dispatch podcast. Welcome once again to the Pig Pen, your place for all things great in sports history, and welcome to your sports break for October 31st, where we will tell you about the greatest athletes that did some of the greatest events on October 31st, as well as their uniform numbers. But before we get to that, I want to make sure that you know how to get a hold of us and send feedback. That is sending us emails. PigskinDispatch@gmail.com is the best way to do it. We'd love to hear about you. Also, you can DM us on Twitter and Facebook. We are at Pigskin Dispatch. Now, your uniform numbers for October 31st, and we'll talk about are 33, 11, 41, 36, 41, 47, and number 35. October 31st, 1943 is where we'll start. And Washington Redskins quarterback number 33, Slingin' Sammy Baugh, passed for 6 touchdowns against the Brooklyn Dodgers in a 48-10 rout on this day in 43. October 31st, 1950, the Big Cat, Earl Lloyd, became the first African-American to play a game in the National Basketball Association, scoring 6 points in his debut for the Washington Capitals. Mr. Lloyd would wear the number 11 with the Syracuse Nationals, and we believe number 11 also with Washington Capitals as well. October 31st, 1967, San Francisco Giants' Mike McCormick, wearing number 41, won the National League's Cy Young Award. October 31st, 1972, Gaylord Perry of the Cleveland Indians at that time, who wore number 36 with the Indians, won the American League's Cy Young Award in 1972. October 31st, 1973, Tom Seaver, wearing number 41 of the New York Mets, well, he won the National League's Cy Young Award. October 31st, 2014, Greg Maddux, number 31. His former teammate, Tom Glavine, who wore number 47, Frank Thomas, who wore number 35, and then we have some managers, Bobby Cox, Atlanta Braves manager, Tony La Russa, who was a manager for multiple clubs, the Oakland Athletics, the St. Louis Cardinals, Chicago White Sox, just to name a few, and Joe Torre, also who managed a few clubs, in particular the New York Yankees of the 1990s. Well, they were all inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Must mention Torre and La Russa, who were both quite the ball players themselves too, but I believe it's for being managers what they were elected into the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown for baseball. Now that is your sports history for today. Certainly glad that you were able to join us here for this great sports history. Would love to hear your feedback. Like we said, pigskindispatch@gmail.com is the best way to get a hold of us. And as we mentioned earlier too, our Twitter account is at Pigskin Dispatch. You can see so many different posts and what's on our mind and what we like and what we like to share on Twitter and also Facebook. We are very active there as well, at Pigskin Dispatch. Just do your search thing with a little magnifying glass and you'll be sure to find us. Also, our podcasts are this one you're listening to, also Pigskin Dispatch, and our audio drama that we have helped produce with Oz Davis of Number 80 Productions, Orville Mulligan, sports writer. We'd love to have you hear that as well. You can find all of those podcasts and more at the sportshistorynetwork.com. Make sure you check out that because there are some great entertainers there, some great hosts with some excellent historians and guests and just some authors, and some athletes that are talking about sports history from all genres and all eras every single day. So there's thousands of hours of listening enjoyment. It's always very good to listen to because it's history and very accurate as we can tell. So please join us there and join us at our websites, Pigskin Dispatch and JerseyDispatch.com, for your latest in football and sports history with uniforms. And we'd love to have you there, be a part of that. And, subscribe to us, and that way you'll know everything that's going on in the pig pen and with our newsletter each and every day by going to the show notes of this very podcast. So till tomorrow, everybody, have a great sports history day. Sorry, but my pitching coach just called timeout and he's coming out to the mound. I think I'm going to get yanked for a reliever. We'll see you back tomorrow for some more great sports history on Sports Jersey Dispatch Podcast. We invite you to check out our websites, JerseyDispatch.com and PigskinDispatch.com. Not only see the daily sports history, but to experience the preservation of great events and people that play the games. Find us on Pigskin Dispatch. It's also on social media outlets of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget the Pigskin Dispatch YouTube channel to get all your daily sports history. Pigskin Dispatch is happy to be associated with the Sports History Network, the sports headquarters of yesteryear, found at sportshistorynetwork.com.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com. Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, aka the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.